Hello. Good morning. Happy Friday. It's Carlos Credle here again with the Credle Group. I'm here today to give you guys a quick breakdown of tips to sell your house and how to sell it fast and how to sell it for top dollar. All right. My objective here is to spread my knowledge and my information. And maybe you're in the market thinking about putting your home on the market and you're thinking about how can I get my home sold for top dollar and as fast as possible. There's many reasons why people put their homes on the market. Sometimes their family's growing, just had a baby, just got married, or it could be the exact opposite. They may be downsizing. Maybe the kids are graduating and going to college, or there's something that's going on in the family. Could have been a family member have just passed and you just got the home in the estate, or you could be going through a divorce. There's many reasons why people sell their homes. I have worked with many different clients with all these different type of scenarios, and I just want to tell you what I have learned through my experience that get your home sold fast for top dollar. Okay, so number one we're going to talk about is pricing. To me, that's the most important piece when it comes down to selling a home is pricing. And as you can see, CMA. What does CMA stand for? That means a comparable market analysis, and you can see comps. So what I tell my clients, number one, it's all about pricing. A lot of times you'll have a person that wants to get top dollar more than anybody else. For example, I had a client that property probably was worth about let's just say 675, 685,000, but they wanted to sell their property for 735,000. That's not the best idea to list your price so high above the comps, because if you do that, you're going to just look like you don't know what you're doing for the most part. And there's going to be a lot of buyers that's out there that's going to not even consider your property. And then they're going to go and look at the property that are priced correctly, right? And if you start to see that, you'll start to see that you are missing buyers. And that's the number one way for your property to sit on the market. The longer your property sit on the market, the worse it is, okay? I want you guys to totally understand that, because it's one of the biggest issues that I have had with sellers, is trying to explain that dynamic to them. But at the end of the day, those are my clients and I'm going to do what they say. But my recommendation, because I have experience in this, it's just like, I'm not going to go to a surgeon and tell them how to do their job. I think I want you to do this brain surgery or do this heart surgery a certain type of way. I'd be like, wow, just please do your best job, save my life, and use all your experience that's necessary to do the best to save me. I think it's the exact same thing when it comes down to selling the houses. You should always listen to your realtor or your real estate agent, because we have experience and we have the knowledge in it. So one of the big things is pricing. Let me tell you how we get our comps. We actually look at the last 6 months, right? We look at the homes that have sold, not the homes that have listed, but the homes that have actually sold in the last 6 months within a 1 mile radius. We actually prefer to look in the subdivision to see the homes that have sold in that subdivision. That is very similar to how many bathrooms you have, how many bedrooms, the square footage. Do you have a basement? Is the basement finished? Things like that. I'm gonna tell you what doesn't increase your value on your home. People think that having, a pool, right? Or having high-end improvements, really increase their value of their home. But in all actuality, it doesn't. I mean, it could have a little determination on your value, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't make a big factor on how much your home sells for, okay? So it's so important for pricing and for you to listen to your realtor to price your property correctly, okay? The next big thing is renovation and repairs, right? So, for example, that's a huge piece if you're trying to buy or sell a home, right? If you're trying to buy a home, 9 times out of 10, especially for first-time home buyers, they're not looking for a project, in all actuality, if it is a project, it's a better deal for the buyers. I tell them, like, hey, you may be able to get some closing costs help, and you'll probably be able to get the property below market value. But if the home is totally renovated, and like I say, it's not going to really push you above the comps, but it will put you at the comps, right? So if your home is renovated, and when I say renovation, I mean fresh paint, new carpet or flooring, updated bathrooms, updated kitchen, appliances, these type of things really help you increase your home value to get the highest value possible. Okay. Renovations and repairs, huge piece when it comes down to selling your house, right? So a lot of people, they say, well, I don't have the money to do the renovations and the repairs. If you decide to work with me, the Credle Group, we have a lot of options where we'll be able to do your renovations and repairs for you, and you can pay it at the end of your when you sell the property from out your proceeds. Okay, I tell people this is well worth it. It's well worth the investment because, okay, let's just look at it. Let's think about it like this. Let's say your home is, all the comps that's in your subdivision are selling for, let's just say, $500,000, right? But your home haven't been repaired since 1977, and you're trying to get that same $500,000. It's not going to happen. You know, you may want it, but it's not going to happen, right? So what I would recommend is you get in some repairs, right? We'll go ahead and have our contractors go in there, and they'll update your property out of their pockets, and then they'll get paid at the end from your net proceeds. At the end of the day, this will help your property get sold faster and for a higher price. So important, because at the end of the day, you put more money in your pocket, and that's your goal. Your goal is to sell your home. At least that's what I think your goal is when it comes down to a lot of sellers. But sometimes sellers are kind of tipsy-turny. They really don't know what they want at that moment. But if you're seriously thinking about selling your property and you want to sell it fast for top dollar, I definitely recommend your renovation repairs. Now, let's talk about this. I know you guys get these phone calls a lot of time. Hey, I want to buy your property. Or you get these text messages from people. Hey, I seen that you have a property on, whatever the case. These are wholesalers. What they're going to try to do is they're going to try to give you bottom dollar for your property, right? Next to nothing. And me personally, I'm not against wholesalers because I work with certain wholesalers. But I tell the consumers that you got to be aware of wholesalers. I mean, it's not a scam because technically it is legal, but it's not smart for you to go with a wholesaler because you could come with a person like myself, a licensed realtor. We'll come into your home. We'll do the repairs and renovations, right? We'll market your property. We'll make sure you get top dollar for your property. And you're going to be walking away with like an extra 40, 50, maybe even $100,000 instead of putting that money into a wholesaler pocket. So very huge, big thing that's going on to be aware of if you're thinking about selling your home. Before you dial that wholesale, we buy ugly homes or whatever that is, man, give me a call because I will be able to get you more cash at the end of the day. All right. So the renovation and repairs, home improvement, huge piece when it comes down to selling your home. Let's talk about curb appeal. Okay. So curb appeal is kind of like doing the landscaping. If you got trees out front, or let's just say that you you need to power wash, you haven't been power washed in a while. These are really key to helping your property shine, especially when it comes down to doing your photography of the home and marketing your home. Doing a little bit of curb appeal goes a long way. And I tell people this. This is one of the cheapest things that you could do to help you increase your home value and get your home sold fast. So doing curb appeal and doing landscaping is, I think it should be required, but it's definitely highly recommended. So think about that, curb appeal. All right, let's talk about staging, because a lot of people have this dynamic that, you want to have your home staged, because when the consumer or person comes into your house, they want to, a lot of people don't have vision, right? They just don't got the vision, and they'll come into a house and they don't know how to, they think a room is too small or it's a little funky, how the configuration is. But if you do stage it, you can give them the vision. The thing about staging is not cheap, okay? When it comes down to staging, I would say a 2,000 square foot property, it could cost you to $5,000 to $10,000, right? This is for actual staging, by the way. It could become very pricey. And then the longer your home sit on the market, right, the more it costs because you're paying every week or every month when, and staging is you put in furniture. For people who don't know, you're putting furniture, you put in pictures, you put in beds, and you're making it looking like the home is lived in. It's very good. But once again, it really comes down to the renovation and the curb appeal. No point of staging if you don't have a renovated property and it looks nice. I mean, it does look nice, but at the end of the day, they're going to do a home inspection. Everything is going to come out. So that's what I say. So actual staging is very pricey. I actually prefer doing virtual staging, and I recommend that because It's actually no cost if you use a realtor like myself. You know, we'll do virtual staging completely free for you as part of our services. And it gives the consumer, gives the buyer a little vision of what it is, you know, in the photos. And then when they come into the home, there is no actual staging, but they have the photos to visualize it and think about it of how furniture and things would fit. Okay, so that's one of the big things about staging. And once you do 1, 2, 3, you have a good price, right? You have did your renovations and your repairs. You have completed your curb appeal, and you decide if you want to do virtual or actual staging. The next piece is marketing, right? And then that's when us realtors, our real estate agents, really come into play. Now, if you're a for sale by owner, you could do this yourself. You know, you could go to Zillow and list it yourself, but you got to understand that your buyer pool may be decreased because us as realtors, we have, just like me at Samson Properties, we have 5,000 plus agents that we share our properties with. Not to mention, we also list it on MLS, the multiple listing services, and it goes out to all of the syndicates to all of the major places like Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, Homes.com. It goes to all of those type places, right? But let's talk about the buyer pools, right? There's FHA buyers, there's conventional buyers are the main top type of buyers, and then there's cash buyers. Usually cash buyers are going to be investors, and they're going to try to lowball you and get a little bit less. But sometimes you'll have a cash buyer, a person that just sold their home, and you know, you can get a fast, quick transaction. And it's recommended to have a cash buyer in certain situations and circumstances. But it's good to have a real estate agent to really break down the difference between these buyers. For example, let's just say you have 5 offers on the table, right? There's FHA, there's a conventional, and there's a cash. You really want to have your realtor break down the pros and the cons to each one of those deals, right? To each one of those offers. But let's even go deeper into this buyer pool, right? So, for example, if there's some home associations and some condo associations where they're in delinquent status, right? Delinquent status means it could be 2 ways why you could not be qualified for FHA. And by the way, FHA is the biggest pool of buyers, and you tend to get the most money from an FHA buyer, right? But there's 2 ways to be not qualified for FHA. One way is that your condo or your homeowner association is in delinquent, so like 15%. So that means that the homeowners are not paying their HOA dues or their condo dues, and they're 15% delinquent. So that's a big way, and you will not qualify for FHA loans, okay? So anybody who's pre-approved for FHA, they would not be able to purchase your home. Another way why you won't qualify for FHA, if there's too many investors. Let's just say that there's a 25% or 50% of the homeowners inside your subdivision are investors, right? They're not primary residents. Your home would not be qualified for FHA. So you kind of want to know these type of things before you list your property, because it really matters. It matters on how much you sell your property for, right? It matters how fast you sell your property for, all right? Now, let's just say you don't qualify for FHA, you usually qualify for conventional, right? So when conventional, the buyer pool gets a little bit smaller, but there's still a significant amount of buyers out there that's approved conventional. And conventional is very strong financing, but you know, you have to be cautious, and you got to understand who's giving you this offer, right? Is it a bank? What type of lender it is? And you want to ask them the right questions so you can know that your deal is more likely to get closed, right? There's different appraisals with each one of these. With FHA, if you get an appraisal, it sticks with your property. I believe it's for 6 months, so it could be up to a year. And conventional, I believe you can get multiple appraisals. So if it comes in low, you can get another conventional appraisal. So these are the big difference between FHA and conventional in the buyer pools. And I try to explain this to my sellers, because at the end of the day, you want as many buyers that's interested into your property to come look at your property so you can get your property sold as fast as possible for top dollar. So I hope this helped you guys. If you're thinking about putting your property on the market, definitely give me a call, Carlos Credle with the Credle Group. I can get your property sold fast for top dollar. That's what I do. I pride myself in having the highest sold property value in a subdivision. All I ask for you is for you to take all these tips into consideration. we could sit down, and I would definitely love to have a conference with you. And if you have any questions, give me a call, 240-486-3643, and I can let you know anything that you have, any questions that you may have. I hope you guys have a great Friday, and hey, you guys stay blessed. Thanks.